They don't do Pasqua either, right? No,
Because that's too far.
yeah, I know that.
Call the Kelsey School Division regular board meeting of October 6th, 2025 to order. We acknowledge that we're meeting on the traditional treaty territory of the Athabasca Nation of the Métis homeland. I'll ask Trustee Keller to read our mission.
We strive to be a respectful and enthusiastic school community dedicated to quality education for all.
We need to approve the agenda. Does everyone have a chance to look at it? Anyone else? Kelsey School Division Board of Trustees approved the regular board meeting agenda for October 6th, 2025 as distributed. Trustee Stevenson, seconded by Trustee Keller. All in favor? And did everyone get a chance to look at the minutes from September 22nd? We have a motion that the Kelsey School Division Board of Trustees approve the minutes of the regular board meeting of September 22nd, 2025, moved by Trustee Hawkinson, seconded by Trustee Fox. All in favor? And today we would like to welcome our MBCI student representative. Hi, welcome. Is there anything you'd like to tell us about yourself?
Well, my name's Aniola Twavey. I'm a grade 12 student at MBCI.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Any unfinished business? No decision? Superintendent's business report.
Just have a few things. Evacuee update. So most of the evacuees have returned to Buckawagan, and there are some we are hearing that are staying. However, we don't know that for sure until whether it's attendance we will look at or, you know, further conversations with parents. So we've been removing them as we've been getting emails from those parents or from the director of their education system there, Doris Costell. She also reached out and said thank you to Kelsey School Division and the Pascagoula Education Authority. And I'd like to thank Pascagoula Education Authority as well. When we were reaching capacity in certain grade levels, they were more than welcome to accept students as well. So it was a team effort. So we'll see what the numbers are after later on, I guess, probably mid-October, to see if some of the individuals that said they're staying are actually staying. I know that our plans can change, you know, whether they're staying with a relative and that didn't pan out, things like that. But most, however, did indeed return. Registrations overall, I mean, as you would expect, we're not getting, you know, 4 and 5 a day or even a week right now. We're just getting in the odd registration that's kind of coming in to date. I'll send an email whether enrollment is. I realized today that when I looked at last year's enrollment and this year's enrollment, I was like, that can't be just a coincidence because it was the exact same number. But it doesn't save on the system, but we for sure have records of what the enrollment was last year. It's just when you look on Power School, it doesn't save last year's enrollment number for whatever reason. So once I get that information, I'll let you know what it was last year compared to this year, so we can see whether the numbers have increased or not. So I believe, in my feeling from looking at the registrations coming in, I think that it has increased a little bit. However, you never know how many students haven't, you know, requested their CUMA files to go elsewhere because they transferred. We don't get records of that. That just goes directly to each school. So but I think numbers will be up slightly. Also, our recognition awards will be Wednesday, November the 12th. We sent out some of the invites today It'll be at the curling rink, and everybody here will get an invite as well, obviously, to come. And yeah, so it should be good. It was really good last year to bring that back, and the staff really enjoyed it. So it'll be good again to bring back into the fold on the 12th. I also would like to welcome Nola to the board, and it's great to have the student rep. It's been started a number of years ago back up again, so it's great to have a student representative. So anytime you have a question, something you want to share from MBCI or anything else for that matter, we feel free to make sure that you to talk about it here at our meetings. I met with the literacy coach, numeracy coach, the middle and high school principals. I had the same point on here on last meeting because I met with the early years principals to discuss the plans for early dismissal. So I did the early years first, and so we did the middle and high school last week. So we came up with a tentative plan for the outlines of early dismissals, which was good. So we know now kind of where we might have to help out and kind of coordinate some individuals for PD, and so in some cases it's all in-house, but there's a plan in place, so we're not a week or two coming up to the early dismissal unaware of who's doing what, where, when, and how. There's a plan from the principals, so that was good. Teacher subs, it's continuing to be a challenge. If we added another 10 subs to the list, would certainly help, but I still think it would be a challenge. So we're doing everything we can to try and encourage individuals to put their name in and show them that you don't have to be a certified teacher. I think that's one of the things that's out there, that people feel they need to be a certified teacher to be a teacher sub. Obviously, it's great if you are, but however, you don't need to be. You're not developing lesson plans. You're not correcting. You're holding the fort, so to speak, for that day or two at that school, and your help's appreciated. And I believe I know it's very flexible in terms of what we can. We will take. I had 2 UCN students sign up last week, and I believe that they could provide coverage on like a Thursday morning or afternoon and like Fridays. So we'll take whatever we can get. So anyone out there who's listening, put your name forward for some teaching. I attended the OCN first Child First Initiative meeting on September 25th, so just after one of our last meetings. They were doing these meetings last year. It was the student services coordinator and the Indigenous cultural coach. I was invited to attend. I was invited before, but last year was pretty busy, but not that this is not important, but I had to prioritize to some respect. So I attended. It was really a great meeting. It's not a session where we're just listening to all of our problems. It's sharing some of our challenges, but also more on a solution-based meeting as well. So it was great to network with many of the, child and family services, the principals or resource teachers from Pasca Cree Nation. We had our team there, so it was there was some individuals for Beatrice Wilson Health. A lot of good conversations, a lot of similarities in some of the struggles. So trying to maybe connect some of the things that we can actually do together. And I believe before this meeting, Pasca Cree Nation is doing an Indigenous leaders. It's a conference. It's an educational company that they've hired to provide leadership courses. There's 4, I believe. They paid a significant amount of money to do it, but they were offering 4 spots for KSD. So, we would not be going down that route, but they're up to offer for them to offer that to us was great. So we have 2 or 3 people already that are interested. So we'll fill the last spot, I'm sure, here in a few days. So thanks goes out to them for that. We interviewed today for a couple of individuals for the administrative assistant position. So there will be a decision made on that this week. We filled the 0.5 position, so that's a grade 9 grade 9 computer course, and the computer shops for Scott Bateman. So the rotating 6, 7s, and 8s. We filled that one just a couple of days ago. We are still, however, looking for that term position at Scott Bateman for grade 7. We have an interview on Wednesday at 3. So we'll see how that how that goes, and we may or may not have a person for that. The current person that's filling it in, doing a great job. They are in until the end of October, so we'd like to get some. I'm not sure. We'll see. The other person could be returning back, but otherwise, we need to still come up with a plan to make sure we have the class covered with somebody. So hopefully we figure that out this week. I met with the Paula Family Resource Center regarding a few things. They offer some programming to all of our schools, but they were also had a discussion with me about the possible use of some space in a couple of our schools for programming. So they came to a few different requests on that. So I'm going to be talking to some of the principals and see what our options are, if any. I'm sure we could probably come up with some sort of scenario that helps them out, because they've been definitely helping us out over the last few years with providing different programming at various levels. So other than that, I got a couple of items in camera, but yeah. Oh, and I did send out an email. Which I could have to look and see what date it was, where we did have a report of a student being hit by a vehicle crossing. The vehicle was turning left into the parking lot of NBCI. Student was riding a bike. It was an accident. The driver looked one way, looked the other, and unfortunately they didn't look back another time. The student was going on their bike, and they assuming they were going go quite fast, I guess, on your bike, and they just were going slow, which was a good thing. And unfortunately an accident happened. The person was hit on the bike, and they're okay, a few bumps and bruises. So they were taken to the hospital. Everything is fine, and the police did an investigation, and I sent everybody an email just so you were aware, because I know sometimes things like that happen, and 1 minute it's bumps and bruises, and then rumor mill hits, and you hear something quite different happen. So I made sure I try to get the information out there. So luckily, nobody was hurt. Speed wasn't a factor. However, I noticed that the signs are all up in those areas around all the schools for maximum 30, and I have noticed that the police have been out and about those areas quite a bit probably the previous 2 weeks for sure, like after that the accident happened. Hadn't seen them the last 2 days. They might have been there and staked the place out there all day, but the last few days after, they were there almost every day in a couple of different spots, just parked. And sometimes I saw them pulling people over. In other cases, I just saw them going like this, pointing the finger to slow down to different drivers. So
okay. It's hard to get used to.
It is, yeah. I mean, the 30 is 30. Like 30 is not, you're going 40 and you're saying, I'm not really going fast. And really, I mean, so 30 is an adjustment. The other issue too is, and I'm going to reach out to the town, is like that sidewalk that's there, most people don't know is there because it hasn't been painted in a long time. So, and that's the sidewalk I'm referring to is the one just to the, on Smith, just straight across from the daycare. I mean, they were maybe better associated with smokers area there. Like there is an actual sidewalk there.
Crosswalk?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Crosswalk. Yeah, crosswalk.
Yeah,
I should
there's
say, I'm saying sidewalk, sorry. Crosswalk. Yeah. There's actually one there. And there's a sign there that says that it was painted. And I've had this conversation with a lot of people, and they all say the same thing to me. Oh, there's a crosswalk there?
It was painted not that long. Maybe
Yeah.
last year, was it?
Maybe, but I think it's just important to have it, like especially at the beginning of school years,
Repainted.
that one there, because I noticed it gets dangerous in that area mostly at the end of the day, because cars parked on both sides of the road, and then students will just go between the cars and not even look.
Yeah.
And so hopefully with the reduced speed and that whatever, people will be a little more cognizant of what's happening around them. But busy spot, so luckily nobody was hurt. So, and
Did they ever consider the flashing lights at that thing, or
you know what, you have to get approval for that, I believe, and we get approval for the flashing light one is,
Big deal.
I believe it's big bucks. So, because I do know across from the Friendship Center, or not the the Friendship Center going to the town hall. A number of years ago, they were trying to get that designated with the lights, and it got, it didn't get approved because they said there was enough traffic there. And for one reason, and then the other, well, whether this was the reason or not, I think it costs a lot of money. So that's that probably led the decision more so than the amount of traffic that was in there. So other than that, that's a couple things in camera. That's it.
I have a very brief full charge report. October 5th, which was yesterday, was World Teachers Day. We have been sent a public survey open until October 31st, 2025 to be used to help shape a long-term strategy for bilingualism in Manitoba. And there's also another survey regarding student voice in governance. SAGE will be October 23rd and 24th. September 24th, I attended a community liaison meeting, and Trustee Sinclair and I are registered for the district MSBA meeting on October 20th. Is there a Secretary Treasurer's business report?
I have submitted the majority of my audit stuff to our external auditor for our year end. I'm still tailing some financial reports that I'll kind of clean up over the next couple of weeks. So I think we're mostly on track and on schedule. We do have an unaudited surplus this year, which we were aiming for, but it's a little higher than I expected. So that's something I did want to discuss in camera. No.
Okay, we'll move to standing committee reports and meeting dates. 10.1 transportation building and maintenance. Roland is sent his regrets. 10.2 community liaison. Cheryl sends her regrets. She was planning on signing in tonight.
She did send a report.
You're right.
Okay. You want me to read it or do you want to read it?
I can read it. She was planning on signing in tonight, but with bad weather, she didn't think it would work. So we met on September 24th and identified community groups to meet with, including Town of the Paw, RCMP, service groups, NRHA, and the Pascagoula Education Services. Under land acknowledgement, Trustee Sinclair, the community liaison chair, welcome Myrna Ducharme and Teresa DeHoop to the meeting and thank them for their availability and willingness to share their experiences with the group. Mrs. Ducharme expressed her appreciation to the board for addressing the current land acknowledgement statement and the growth she has experienced within the division since starting her position in 2022. Myrna spoke to the committee, stressing the importance of a land acknowledgement coming from the heart of the individual, starting with giving gratitude to people and their locations in their language. When it comes to an organization such as the division, she informed us that the statement needs to be meaningful, with the board considering the purpose of the statement, the actions we want to take, and the message we want to give our students, staff, and community. Also, the statement can be adapted throughout the year to reflect the time of the year, for example, Truth and Reconciliation Day or National Indigenous Day. Teresa DeHoop presented a reflection document she had prepared based on various presentations given to the Board of Trustees and staff by Dr. Alex Wilson for the committee to consider. And the committee asked Myrna Ducharme to reach out to Edwin Jebb, OCN Elder, to join us at our October meeting to discuss next steps in the process to update our land acknowledgement statement. An email will be sent to all trustees to review the reflection document and provide their input. The committee requested the Board of Trustees support a motion for a nominal amount $500 to use for hospitality when meeting with various groups, as well as elder knowledge keeper groups. And the next meeting will be October 29th at 4 p.m. And I'm assuming everyone got that document. So it just has some important questions to reflect on: historical understanding, accuracy and respect, purpose and authenticity, beyond the words, and context and relationship. So if you guys can look at that and get back to Trustee Sinclair with your thoughts on it, so that it actually is more personal for our board than, just a generic statement. Just that it's more meaningful.
Hoping Cheryl will be here to talk a little bit. 'Cause I'm just on a personal, like I tried to write that email a couple times and I know I've spoken to Edwin Jem a couple times about those acknowledgements, and he's very much of the opinion that it should change very frequently. And I know how hard that is for like an organization like ours to do that.
And we kind of talked about that too, as she mentioned here about, it can adapt throughout the year. And I think maybe the base of it can remain the same, but we would be able
for
to
sure.
add in something depending on it to make it continue to be more personalized. But
Yeah, there's a balance there.
yeah,
But yeah, if you listen to one of Edwin's land acknowledgements, be like, I can't have to do that. Like, I don't know what now stuff.
well, I think what Mrs. Ducharme said though, was that the point of it is for it to come from your heart.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be that this is how, we show respect for the land we're on, and that we just have to reflect on that. And so I think any opinions Trustee Sinclair will welcome. So, 10.3 education liaison. Trustee Stevenson.
I need to talk with Graham and Chris to come up with a meeting date.
Yeah,
Any Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon works for me.
yeah. Let's just pick one and I'll send out invites for both of ours together.
Okay.
10.4 policy. Greg, Trustee Potts.
We have a meeting coming up this Friday at 10 a.m. We'll do policy and finance.
10.5 finance. Trustee Hawkinson.
Yeah, meeting Friday, 10:45.
Okay.
10:45. Oh yeah, after them. Please.
10.6 negotiations and personnel.
We did the KSD QP bargaining prep meeting on October 15th, and then I'll send out those invites for the combined meeting. And we can decide which date.
Moving on to other reports. 11.1 Margaret Barber. Trustee Hawkinson.
No report this time. October meeting.
11.2 Kelsey Learning Center. Trustee Potts.
I talked to Cam on Friday of last week. He said the enrollment there is about 65 to 70 students in that range. I didn't ask him to go through the big list, but he said they've lost a few, but they're getting a few here and there, so it's staying pretty balanced for enrollment. He said in like all the different things, literacy, numeracies, things like that, they're offering that as well. What else did he say is coming up? There is a CIPEM upcoming events. He didn't remember what that was and they didn't look into it, but it's a recruitment thing for schools to come in and they're coming to UCN to talk to the people at the bus.
Okay.
Just to sort of give them some insight into different post-secondary options or things like that. So they'll be traveling around. He thought they were going to do the whole North Circuit, but they're coming to UCN and maybe to the high school. I don't know if they do that.
They usually do go, yeah.
So they're going to be there for October 8th. 1 p.m. in the classroom, one of the rooms at UCN. They're going to be doing a sort of a presentation to them. So they're looking forward to that.
Okay, put on by RRC, it says choices for Indigenous post-secondary education of Manitoba.
Yes. Okay. So UCN is part of organizing that as well as Melissa Constant there is part of organizing that as well. So yeah, that's about it from him. Not much is going on there, and I had asked him about like if they were involved in that food, like meal stuff, but he said they weren't, but because the funding's different and everything, but they do offer snacks and things, coffee, things like that in the classroom.
Yeah.
As well. I don't know why that just popped in my head when I was talking to them, if they were involved in that whole thing or part of that process, but said they're not because of funding, but they do offer something in Works classroom there, so
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, let's move it for discussion.
11.3 KTASD. Trustee Keller and I need to look at some dates that I for that. So nothing scheduled yet. 11.4 MBCI Youth Member Report. Neola?
On September 17th, we had a new student lunch just to welcome like new students at UCI. It's fun. Then we had a school-wide barbecue on September 26th. We have a few sports zones tournaments going on for volleyball, soccer, cross country. On October 4th, our NBCI jazz band performed at the Culturama, if anyone's there.
So it was good.
Yeah. And I also have a report on student enrollment at NBCI. We have a total of 438 students total, 105 grade 9s, 93 grade 10s, 103 grade 11s, and 137 grade 12s.
So all that grade 12s, I guess, would be graduating, 137 grads, yeah, that would be.
Starts high, I think, and I.
Yeah, everyone,
Or like, yeah, some people
What?
maybe not have the credits or.
yeah,
Yeah.
you have what happens when you put into the system in grade 9, you whether you get all your credits in grade 9, you're on the system your second year, which means you're grade 10. So,
Oh, okay, I see.
but with 100 and X number, I would think that the grad class still would be relatively high compared to maybe, yeah, like last year was a pretty good, probably not 100, probably in the high 80s, I would think. So they haven't had usually in October, they'll have their first grad meeting. I usually have it just before or just after Thanksgiving weekend and have a parent-student meeting. And that's where you get the core group of your committee members from. And for that meeting, you're, as the principal, will be all prepared in terms of this is, this is how many number of students can graduate if they get all of their credits this year. But
That number sticks in my head because I think in 1987 we had 130 something like that was one of the highest ones.
Yeah.
We had, so it's-
yeah,
I wasn't valedictorian or anything. I just was
yeah.
I
I was there.
I'll have to look back in the archives. I'll be on microfiche or.
Yeah. Had a pretty sweet haircut back in 87.
Is that it? Thank you. 11.5, Kelsey Pack. Trustee Sinclair is unable to join us, but she has informed us that the PAC meeting will be on October 14th at 7 p.m. All parents, guardians, and grandparents are welcome to attend. 11.6, the Paschal PAC. Trustee DeSantis is not joining us tonight. 11.7, Mary Duncan, Trustee Stevenson.
I talked with Sarah. She said they currently have 95 students enrolled. Attendance has been great. They hired Emily Lowen as their 0.75 math teacher and Tasia Titherton as a full-time EA. They currently have an opening for a half-time EA position that they are hoping to fill soon. They've also have Teresa DeHoop working as a 0.25 resource teacher, which has been a huge help. Students attended a field trip to Fisher Island for a tour in traditional teachings. We had 4 elders come to present to our students for Truth and Reconciliation Day, and teachers facilitated lessons around TRC. We are hoping to go medicine picking soon to replenish and smudge our room with medicines. Students have been enjoying the healthy free breakfast and lunch. All around, it's been a great start to the year.
And just for the record there, so just to make sure, just to listeners out there, so Teresa's not working 0.25 there, so she's just providing support. That 0.25 for resource is part of the principal's job. However, like in any school, any position where, they might need some more help and guidance in it, whatever field, we provide that service there. So Teresa's been spending some time there. I just don't want people to think she's now working one full-time job here or 0.25 of our time is spent over there. Like anybody else, if we had a new resource teacher at another school, she'd be spending more time, modeling and helping that the actual resource position is within the principal's job. So I just want to make sure to clarify that.
11.8, Scott Bateman, Pat, trustee Keller.
I reached out to Kelly and sent him our template there for his response, but just recently haven't anything back yet. And no word on PAC meeting yet, unless somebody else has heard.
Moving on to 12.0, the Manitoba School Boards Association report of business. There's information in the folder. There is a survey that MSBA wanted us to complete. And I'm not sure who's ours.
Individual trustees. So that's the one you're talking about, the one on student engagement?
Student engagement.
Yeah, I reshared it today. It says, and your name at the bottom, so I think it's up to all trustees to respond.
Okay, okay.
I think I shared it again today. It was a busy day.
There was a survey, but it was some student with the meeting engagement.
No, that's cute. That was, he's talking, you're talking with the, I think Superintendent Lane maybe sent that one about the survey for the MSBA district meetings. Yeah,
That's all.
I saw that one too, yeah.
I think we're very low attendance.
Yeah.
For that, and so they're trying to find out what we'd all prefer.
Yeah.
Thirteen point one correspondence.
Correspondence.
14.0 next board meeting date will be October 20th, 2020.
Yeah, two motions there. Well, one to accept the correspondence, number 13.
This was a different thing. Which one?
No, you have motions willing to accept the correspondence.
Yeah.
Or the secondary. It is 27. That is wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. The
That's wrong
Kelsey
too.
School Division Board of Trustees received the reports and correspondence moved by trustee Stevenson, seconded by trustee Keller. All in favor?
When did you say when's the next board meeting?
27th.
Thanks.
Right. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I would have showed up on the camp as always.
So that's October
You're welcome.
20th. What did you say that was?
27th.
27th? Okay, next board meeting will be October 27th.
That's that.
Are there any questions? Horizon from anyone's in?
Lala's in here. Does have a question for you?
I'm listening. I don't have a question, but just thanking the board members who are going to be participating in the turkey trot on Wednesday. Hopefully we won't have snow. Have a good night.
Just to confirm, does everyone need to bring their own cards for that?
I'm not, it probably would be a good idea. I think there'll be cards at each school, but
Okay,
would be okay. They'll have the forms though, or they should have. Those were sent out already.
okay, thank you.
And just send the check to Kelly.
Okay. Is there a check?
What check?
So we give money, and QP and the board gives $100 each, and then we get 6 gift certificates or gift cards as prizes.
Oh, okay. And if you have proposed meeting dates, we didn't decide on any meeting dates for the.
No, she sent it to me.
Oh, she did? Okay.
Yep.
Never mind, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye, love.
Business arising. There's a motion that the Kelsey School Division Board of Trustees approve up to $500 for hospitality and/or knowledge keeper gifts for the 2025-2026 fiscal year for committee use. Is there any discussion about this? Moved by trustee Collinson.
And sorry, that's just for just having the odd meeting with.
For when the community liaison meets, so
Oh,
that
okay.
perhaps like we might have refreshments if an elder comes or
Yep.
give them a gift.
Okay.
Seconded by trustee Stevenson. All in favor? Carried. And a motion that the Kelsey School Division Board of Trustees go in camera at 7:35. Moved by trustee Keller, seconded by trustee Hawkinson. All in favor?
And